Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the C Weekly episode 4. I'm Benji, back yet again on a lovely Saturday night doing this recording. Would have done it earlier, but BlizzCon was on, and let's go straight into that with the tournament results. Yes, BlizzCon this morning was on. We have two of our players go over there. Moonglade and Jazzbaz did go over to represent C. Moonglade did draw MVP in the first round and did lose to him 0-2, as pretty much every Zerg in the world will. I mean, let's face it, that guy's a beast. And did get dropped to the lower bracket where he did play against Rhett, and Rhett beat him as well. So Glade actually not doing a great showing there, but I'm sure he'll enjoy the experience and the travel over there. And I mean, BlizzCon itself is an amazing event. People pay to go over there just to spectate, let alone getting paid to go over there and have fun. But Jazzbaz had a bit of a nice run there, I gotta say. He did go 1-2 versus Sen. Did get knocked to the loser's bracket there, but if you can take a game of Sen and ZVZ, you're kind of like going, hey, you know, I'm actually not that bad. Did place in the lower bracket against Six Jacks Major, or Six Jacks Terran, formerly of Six Jacks, and he did go 2-0 against him, knocking him out of the tournament. So that was a bit of an upset there. A lot of players do respect Major and did expect him to go a bit further there. And in the next round, he played against Tudming, and he did lose 0-2 there in ZVZ. ZVZ, I know, is not his best matchup, but he still did a decent showing there, I've got to say. Well played to him, definitely represented C well, I've got to say. I'm very proud of him. I'm sure the rest of C is as well. Next up, other events. We had the ACL show match going this week. It was a pretty cool event on Tuesday. We did have two best-of-5 games. First one was Glade versus Igers. Glade didn't win that one 3-0, unfortunately for Igers. And the second one was Pig versus Light, where Pig won 3-1. Well, that was a fairly close series, despite what the score may say. I mean, overall, the intent of the tournament was to sort of get the ACL community and the StarCraft community kind of aware of each other and starting to merge a bit over a common event. That was easily achieved, and you know what? StarCraft 2 smashed ACL stream record right there. They've had LAN finals that haven't had as many numbers as we got in that one online show match. So I'm very keen to see what we can do next year with StarCraft 2 and with ACL. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Offline LAN events with good production, something we don't really have at the moment. Hopefully ACL can fill that gap. And the third event of the week did take place last weekend. It was the WCG National Finals. We did have quite a few awesome players travel to Brisbane for that event. They all got there in the end, and it sounded like they had a pretty good time up there. In the end, though, Moonglade did barely win the whole tournament. I say barely because he went 2-1 in every single series he played there. And going 2-1 in like 4 or 5 best-of-3s ain't something that makes you feel very comfortable. Definitely well played to Glade get there, but also T-Gun, who did make it to the winners final, and also the grand final there, going 2-1 to Glade both times. So, I mean, a lot of people don't rate him that high because he doesn't win tournaments, but T-Gun's, you know, he's pretty good. He's getting up there in WCG Nationals. Hopefully we can see him in more C events soon, and winning them, of course. That's it for our tournament results. Next up, we're going to go straight into upcoming events. Coming up this week, we do have one event tomorrow night. That is the SC2C.com Masters Cup. We have a very exciting event. I'll be casting that one. It's got about a $100 prize pool split amongst the first 3 placings, but also there is a random $10 prize. Yes, a random person. You could come last, you could come first, is eligible to win this $10. That's a lunch. You can go get Macca's, get a good meal with that. And all you got to do is sign up, play your game. You know, might play 2 games, might even go through the finals, who knows, but just play some StarCraft. It's better than laddering, it's better than sitting around doing nothing. Definitely should tune in for that, and definitely sign up for that, because it's going to be a very, very fun event, I assure you that. Also coming up next month, we have 2 small land events. All the big events are starting to wrap up now, so now we're getting down to sort of these state ones that people might travel to, but might not. First up, we do have the Arena Net Cafe event. It will be a $1,000 prize pool. A lot of people actually traveling to this one. It looks pretty good. It's going to take place at the end of November. More details are on sc2c.com, and I'll also be saying more details on my weekly as we get closer to that event. Do a bit more coverage on that and see what players are going and that kind of stuff. Should be a very interesting event. I'll be watching that one for sure. Also coming up in November, about middle to end of November, we have the City Hunter Tournament. It'll be the second Kingston event they're running. They're going to be running a lot over the next year, I can tell you that now. And this one looks to be pretty good as well. It's a pretty decent prize pool as well. Definitely look to sc2c.com for that, for details, and definitely come along. I mean, I said this before, but there's a lot of people that kind of go to these online events and they win them, they might come second, but yeah, you're kind of getting your name out there a bit, you might get invited to a clan, but to get yourself known as one of the best players in the region, you need to be going to offline events and winning them. And there's a lot of them, okay? If you can't get to one, it's because you live in the middle of Australia, or you live in Perth. But if you live in any of the major cities, there are offline events for you to travel to. And if you want to become known as the best, you've got to win these events. You've got to place highly at these events because they're what counts. Online events are cool, but offline events are where people like Lai and Rossi make their names. So definitely go along to those, definitely participate in those, and at least come and say hi to people that you know or people you see post on forums. Show your support for the community. There should be some pretty good events. Our player profile this week will be xGKingiaguz. He is an Australian on Team Xeria Gaming. His nemesis is Moonglade. Moonglade does seem to hit Igaz at the finals of most online tournaments, and unfortunately for Igaz, Moonglade seems to get the better of him more often than not, so hopefully he can accomplish that hurdle soon in the future. He did go to IEM Guangzhou as the C representative along with Pig, and he is very strong in all matchups, although playing on C and NC tournaments, it seems that his ZVT is what he's make most use of, having to play against quite a few Zergs. 90% of his games are most likely against Zergs on C. He is called the Gimli-tarian due to his looks. As you can see by his picture, he does resemble Gimli from Lord of the Rings in quite a striking fashion there. And he's actually yet to win a major offline tournament. He's actually always placed quite high, getting a lot of seconds, thirds in really massive events, but yet to take the gold. So keep an eye out for him winning a major offline event in the coming few weeks or months. Replay review of the week will be between xGKingiaguz as the blue Terran on the left hand side here of Antigua Shipyard, and on the right hand side we have vileSpanshwa as the red Zerg, very famous for his own style, very gasless early on. Not sure if he still does that, but he's kind of made a name for himself. He's going for a quick roach push here though. He does have 2 bases up, so he's just doing some pressure with these roaches. Does miss rally them unfortunately. There is a wall off there from Igaz, so small damage being output there before he can really get up that ramp, but doing some nice damage, hitting the Marines. But can he get through the bunker? That bunker's got a lot of health, has got 4 Marines inside, plus the 4 behind it. SCVs are out to repair that, and I think that will be held off. I'm not quite sure. He's trying to pick up SCVs as they come forward to repair. Igaz though just pulling back when he starts to get this bunker back into high health. He's going to take a few SCV losses there, but the damage done in roaches there is quite high, and Igaz holds that very easily. Going for his own counter-attack here with Marauders and Marines. Marines do have combat shields, can do some damages, but oh my goodness, there are a lot of Zerglings out here. Spanshwa catching this army up against the wall. Doesn't have enough Zerglings to take it out though. Marauders do take a lot of damage to kill, and Marines deal a lot of damage. Few little straggling Marines coming in there, and look at this, more Zerglings coming in for Spanshwa. Easily going to take all this army out, and we'll have a nice little Ling army left over for some small defense, okay, so any other pushes come. Speaking of other pushes, here comes some tanks and Marines catching some units out. Guys have stim now, Igaz, getting some crit trimmers with that scan, and Lings coming from the north. Can Igaz hold this? Just get a perfect surround of Spanshwa, but he doesn't have enough Lings. Marines clean out with medevac support there. Medevac's actually heal up those Marines quite well, and he does take out that small army. They're losing 1 tank, but oh my goodness, Invest is moving forward here. Great fungal growth there, able to take out almost all those Marines there. Yes, that second fungal does great damage. 3 Marines left, and that is a nice game there for Spanshwa. At the same time, we do have a push here coming from the middle. A lot of Marines here with tank support, doing it nice and slowly, Igaz, as all good Terrans do. Does see some Infestors up ahead with no support actually. Can use some damage, but no, fungal growth does go down and just pin his units back. Does have a drop here, going down at that 3rd base. There's a Spinecrawler there to defend it, but I think 8 Marines does kill a Spinecrawler if they do stim up. But oh wow, Ultra Ling and Fester coming forward here. Easily going to be able to take that up, Igaz. He's going to be forced away there. Pushing the middle though, trying to break this container. Ling and Fester, Ultra. Nice fungal growth going down. At the same time, the Ultras are doing nice damage. Look at that fungal at the back there, catching so many Marines, and Lings do so much damage as well once they get a few upgrades. Spanshwa going to power straight from the middle here. Units just keep going back from Igaz. So look how deep this push goes. Even back at the watchtower, there are still units left. Ultras are tearing through that though with the Link support. That should get cleaned up very easily here. Spanshwa going to be able to expand now at the same time if he chooses to, but at the same time, units come up and do start this 4th base from Spanshwa. That's going to be a massive loss for him. He wants that 4th base up, and with only 3 bases, he's equal to the Terran. These units are still pushing forward from the middle though, and look at this, Igaz just straggling in some reinforcements, has got medevacs out, has got Marauders, and looks like he will kill these 2 Ultras and defend his own base from any counter pushes going on here. And oh, look at this, Igaz trying to take his 4th base here. Does catch a lot of Lings out here. Nice poor control there by Spanshwa. He's going to catch a few Lings out, trying to clear the crit trim away so he can land that command center, but Fungal's going down, and there are so many Ultras here with Infested support. Can they clean this up? It's going to be quite close. Tanks are at the back, and they do a lot of damage to Ultras as well as the Marauders, but wow, there's just way too many units there. Infested Terrans going down from Spanshwa is going to clean up this push at the front here, and look how many Ultras there are. It's quite high actually, and it just keeps pushing here. Igaz trying to push back with some reinforcement units. Marines and Marauders just sitting them in as they are made. They're able to pick off 1 or 2 Marauders, but it's just a little bit too much there. Needs to land that 4th base, get that planetary up so he can compete with Spanshwa on economy status. Still some more units coming in here. Lings and links and ultras, and there are tanks out now. Can he hold this off? I think he will. In fact, last ultra does go down, and actually, xGKingiaguz and Festus are caught out in the open here. xGKingiaguz seizes the opportunity, does steam up. Can he catch a bunch of them here? They're going through a choke point there. Does lose 3 of them, and even concussive shells a 4th. I do think he will be able to escape with those last 3 there. xGKingiaguz with Infestus needs to save as many as he can. xGKingiaguz are pushing forward here, sees an engagement here, but oh god, fungal growth got me down. Great fungals from xGKingiaguz, and a great engagement for him as well. Is going to be able to clean most of this up. Does lose a few ultras, which does suck, but does kill all the tanks and the medevacs as well. Pushing up at the top here though, xGKingiaguz trying to snipe this base off. There is an ultralist waiting for him though, and xGKingiaguz's army is coming around from its main base. Is going to catch that tank at the back there, and a fungal growth at the top there from that infested that just popped there will stop these units from being able to snipe the hatchery off before they are killed off. But at the same time, unfortunately for xGKingiaguz, there is a small pack of units I can see on the minimap. Here they are, moving up to the 3rd base, and there's actually no army here for him. His army is caught up at that 5th base there from xGKingiaguz, and he's going to easily snipe this hatchery. Probably not going to get these units out, but that doesn't matter. He's going to snipe the hatchery, and that's going to get cleaned up quite easily. But that's definitely a great game there from xGKingiaguz. And oh wow, at the same time, that 4th base from xGKingiaguz getting sniped yet again for those tanks and those marines. The army is nowhere near this spot, and xGKingiaguz knows he needs to push now. Does push forward, has a lot of ultras, has a lot of infestors, and links of course. Look at those infested Terrans go down. Great at soaking damage, and actually not that bad at dealing out a bit of their own. He keeps pushing through here. A lot of ultras left up here. Infestors are still pushing through, running out of energy though. I don't think they're going to use too much. A few more Infestors Terrans go down at the Planetary Fortress. Can he break the Planetary though? If he can break that Planetary, he will be in a great position. But I don't know if he can. They do take a lot of damage, but xGKingiaguz not repairing his Planetary. He needs to repair it if he wants to keep it alive against each ultras, and Al does repair it at the last second there. Is going to live, and these ultras are starting to fall one by one. It's not great for xGKingiaguz at all. He is down on supply versus xGKingiaguz, down on mining bases, currently 1 base versus 2 as far as mining bases go. Last ultra is cleaned up, and xGKingiaguz does lose land some mules at that spot. Well, here comes a nice push here, coming from the top here, but this high ground here from xGKingiaguz is amazing. Those Marines doing some nice damage down those infestors, and oh wow, xGKingiaguz were down at very few units, and GG's out. And that was it for the C Weekly episode 4. Tune in next week for episode 5. If you have any ideas on who you want featured, please let me know. I mean, I only have one brain. You guys have plenty out there to help. If you want to see a specific player, post in any of the threads. I check them all, and I'll get right on that, of course. Thank you for watching, and tune in next week.